We're back now with our NBC News investigation into the shocking death of a 16-year-old at a youth facility run by a company we've investigated before for past violations. We want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is disturbing. Here's Kate Snow.
You're looking at video of 16-year-old Cornelius Frederick having lunch at Lakeside Academy, a home for at-risk youth in Kalamazoo, Michigan. There's no audio, but Cornelius is seen throwing food. 2 staff members intervene, but when Cornelius throws another item, he's pushed down. 2 men become 3, then 6 on top of him. After at least 10 minutes of restraint, Cornelius is lifted up limp. And then watch what happens. Staff members, including a nurse, stand around for another 12 minutes. Then the nurse calls 911.
We have assumed that he was in a restraint, and now he's unresponsive.
2 days later, Cornelius was dead.
Throwing a sandwich? You don't suffocate children for throwing a sandwich. It's murder.
As you view the video, what do you see?
I see the killing of a child for no reason whatsoever.
Attorney Jeffrey Feiger is representing Cornelius's family, suing the for-profit company that operated Lakeside and dozens like it nationwide, called Sequel Youth and Family Services.
This was a regular occurrence. They instilled fear in children.
Cornelius wanted to be a therapist when he grew up because he knew that kids needed help.
Will White worked at another youth facility where he got to know Corn, as they called him.
Corn, he loved to play chess. He loved playing chess. He tried to teach me maybe for a week straight.
Born and raised in Michigan, Cornelius's mom died when he was 12. His father was in prison, and Cornelius became a ward of the state.
He wanted to be loved and accepted. And so he did it by any means necessary.
Sometimes acting out?
Yes.
The police report shows Cornelius had been physically restrained at Lakeside 10 times before, once in January for 36 minutes. And NBC News found records showing since 2018, Michigan substantiated 56 violations at Lakeside, including multiple instances of inappropriate physical restraints. 3 former employees have been charged with manslaughter and child abuse in Cornelius's death, all pleading not guilty. Does your client think that what they did in that room was what they were trained to do, that they did it properly?
My client thinks what he did was absolutely proper.
Donald Sopanos, the defense attorney for Zachary Solis, says his client was given just 2 hours of training on using restraints.
There were several superior and rank employees standing around, and nobody said anything to any of the employees that my client heard as far as move down, move up, get off his chest.
In a statement on this incident, Sequel says in part, Cornelius's death is heartbreaking and the restraint used was in violation of our policies and training, adding it fired those involved quickly and is cooperating with law enforcement.
Tonight, we report on a school in Iowa.
But it's not the first time NBC News has found evidence of improper restraints used at a Sequel facility. In 2 reports last year, former residents and staff described what happened at Clarinda Academy in Iowa.
They just kept slamming my butt against the floor, and my head was hitting the floor.
It's a routine practice to do restraints that are more painful than what they should be.
After we asked questions more than a year ago, Sequel announced a new restraint-free behavior management program. But a full year later, it's only been implemented at 10 of the more than 40 facilities. At Lakeside, Sequel says employees had completed the new training by March, and yet 1 month later, this is how they were treating Cornelius. Sequel now tells NBC News, we have accelerated the work that was already underway to move to a restraint-free model of care.
Why isn't anybody protecting him? Why isn't anybody trying to save him? How could this happen in a civilized environment?
Michigan shut down Lakeside Academy, but Sequel continues to operate dozens of other facilities across the U.S.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.